Hi, my name's Neil. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thanks for joining me. I'm a 45-year-old skateboarder who skated a lot in my younger years. I stopped in my teens and then started again about 5 years ago, and I've been YouTubing the whole thing. Today's video is another one about padding and protection. Actually, this one is about padded shorts. I've done several videos before about all kinds of pads, helmets, etc. So check out my other videos if that might interest you. But yeah, today is about padded shorts, so let's get into it. Alright, padded shorts are kind of like the unspoken skateboard pad. People don't talk about them very much. There's not a lot of information out there about them, but I think an awful lot of people do actually wear them. Now, the fact that it's a bit of an open secret is quite interesting, but also that you can be very covert about it, so nobody really ever knows that you're wearing them. That is, as long as what you're wearing over the top of them is baggy enough to hide them, but generally you know you're wearing them. Feels very strange, but once you get used to them, not a problem. People really can't tell if you're wearing them, and personally I think they've got to be one of the best investments as far as padding goes, because the number of times that I've fallen and bruised my hip or my coccyx, you know, that bone right below the small of your back, even the upper thighs, to me they are just completely invaluable, and I wear them for every skate session, and I pretty much have worn them all the time since I started skating again 5 years ago. So not only do they protect you very well, for me they give me boosted confidence that falling is not going to hurt quite so much as it does when I'm not wearing them. But that's pretty standard information for all pads as far as I'm concerned. Now I'm going to talk you through the ones that I have owned and the ones that I recommend based on the research and experience that I have. So the first ones I started wearing might look quite familiar to you. There's actually quite a strong marketing campaign going on right now on Instagram for the same style of padded shorts, and I'll show you these ones. They look very armored, very strange, but let me come back a bit so you can see the whole thing. They are literally like a pair of cycling shorts. They have Velcro fly, and I hope this comes across on the camera well enough, but they are basically like a pair of Lycra cycling shorts, and then they have these padded panels that are sewn onto them. So there's the thigh ones here, and then the back of the leg, so that's like the top of the back of the leg, and then you have this one that is like the whole kind of butt area, the coccyx, and then obviously the same thing around the other side. So that is the back of them, and you can see those upper thigh pads on the back there, and then that big one across the butt and the coccyx there, and then the front there is basically nothing, and the sides you have these two side panels. So you might see at the moment they're being marketed on Instagram quite a lot as snowboarding pads. Yep, they probably do the same kind of job snowboarding as skateboarding. They just, you know, stop that impact. The thing with these though, and what kind of turned me off slightly from wearing them, this padding is actually pretty hard. So when I fall on them, although, you know, they put a decent amount of separation between you and the concrete or the ramp or whatever it is that you're falling on, these bumps are quite hard, and it felt like they ended up bruising me. Now I'm sure that wearing them was a lot better than not wearing any at all, but the kind of comfort factor of them and falling on them was a bit weird and not as good as I thought they might be. I'll show you some footage of me actually wearing them as well so that you can sort of see the shape of them. But suffice to say, I wore these for well over a year, maybe a couple of years, and they did the job just fine. They're really cheap. I got these from one of those like outdoor sports shops. In the UK there was a chain of shops called Trespass, a bit like Decathlon, which are all around Europe. I don't know where else perhaps they have those shops, but one of those kind of outdoor sports and extreme sports shops. And so I got mine from there, and they were very cheap. So if you're looking for some on a budget, you might want to try those out. But for me, the padding was just a bit hard. So from there I went to a different set, and These again, I think were marketed as snowboarding shorts, but actually from a brand that I've heard of and most skateboarders have heard of. So these ones are Protek, and Protek make helmets, knee pads, elbow pads and such. They have pretty much the same kind of construction. So let me come back a bit. So that's the shorts. They have much bigger thigh pads that actually go from the butt all the way down and round to the front of the thigh. So they cover quite a lot more on the side panel. Again, I'll wear them and take some video so that you can see. But that's the front, and you can see the bottom of them, how it curls down and around the front. They have the same kind of like open front on them, so there's no padding on the front itself, but you can see how they curl round to the front of the thighs. So as I turn them around, you'll see that the side is very well padded and it's continuous all the way around to the back. So that thigh pad goes from the front of the thigh all the way around to the back, where you get another one of those coccyx pads across the kind of middle of your butt, and that goes from kind of the small of your back all the way down to the bottom. And then you've got two small triangle panels at the bottom of the back of your thighs. There's a lot more coverage with these. They don't have a Velcro fastening on the front, they are just literally elastic. They do have a fly opening there for obvious reasons. They have some hooked kind of straps that you can pull them up with. So slightly different design. They are like a cycling short kind of material again, but they're much more mesh. You can see through them. They are a bit better ventilated. The trespass ones that I showed you just now, they have the same kind of thing, kind of mesh. So they're not too bad, but all these shorts do add to the sweat factor a little bit. So they do get kind of hot and sweaty summertime. I think it's worth it, to be honest. I sweat anyway, so not really going to make things an awful lot worse with these on. Now the difference with these really is that the padding itself, these pads are a lot softer, an awful lot softer. So they don't actually hurt you quite in the same way that the previous ones do. And if you fall, it's a bit of a softer landing. But also, personally, I think they went a bit too far. They're a bit too soft, to the point where they're not protecting me quite as much as I thought they should. I thought they were pretty good, better than the last one, so I did buy a couple of sets of these so that I could have them on rotation. I think I wore them for maybe another year, maybe it could have been up to 2 years again, but I think I ended up wearing just one pair more than another. They wash pretty well in the washing machine and that, so they were pretty good, not too bad at all. And you know, if you can still get these, I've got a feeling that Protek actually discontinued them, but if you can still get them, they are not too bad. The padding is all right. It's not too bad. It definitely will stop those kind of bruises that you would get from your hips if you fall on concrete, that's for sure. So they're not too bad. But the other factor with these was that they were really expensive, really, for what they were. They were like at least double the price of the cheaper trespass ones. And I think I paid about £50 per pair of these. So, you know, it's £100 worth of padded shorts I had. To me, it's like one of those things of what price do you put on pain or recovery? To me, protection gear is always worth spending on because it's going to keep you going, keep you skating. So I don't want to be off the board for any period of time. I'll pay whatever it costs to keep on skating. So by keeping my eyes open to see what else was out there, about a year ago, I happened across a different brand that I thought I'd quite like to try. This is them. I've actually bought a brand new set. I've been wearing one pair already for quite some time, and I've bought another set so that I can have them on rotation. These ones are actually from Amazon. They're not marketed as skateboarding pads. They're just protective padded shorts. And the brand is Bodyprocs. I've never heard of them, but upon looking further into their products, they do sell quite a lot of different things. But needless to say, the padding on these is an awful lot better than the other two, and so that's why I kind of chose to get this other set. So I'm going to unbox these ones because they've just arrived, and I'm going to show you. So let's crack them open. Not very exciting as an unboxing video, but here we go. So let's have a look. A piece of paper inside, doesn't really say anything interesting, but here we go. So again, elastic waist on them. There is no like fastening on the front, and there is no fly either. It's mesh material just like the others. And the leg panel, so the front is let's show you there. The front is as open as the other ones, so there's no padding on the front. The thigh is multiple sections of padding down one side. There is one large section on the back that goes from like the top, like small of your back, all the way down and then curls under. And then you've got these two kind of triangle pieces on the back of your thigh. So basically the same padding configuration as the others. Not quite so encapsulating as the Protek ones, so they don't come around the front like the Protek ones. But I've not actually found that to be an issue. I don't fall on the front of my thighs when I fall. So the general shape is about the same. But the thing that made all the difference for me was the thickness and the density of the padding. So the thickness is about the same as the Protek ones. Because they're larger flat panels, they don't feel like they stick out or are lumpy compared to the first ones I showed you. Those lumps in the first one felt like that's what's bruising me. Because these padded panels are very flat, it doesn't feel like they're sticking into you when you fall on them. So it feels very well cushioned. And really the main thing is that the density of this foam is a lot thicker, but because it's not lumpy, it doesn't actually feel like it's sticking into you. So the density of the foam is probably as thick as the first one, but they're not so uncomfortable. So I think these are actually a happy medium between the two different kinds that I had previously. So it's really hard to tell you much more about them, but they are the best ones I've come across so far. I'm going to leave a link in the description if you want to get some for yourself. I'm recommending them to you because they are the best thing I've found so far, and I wouldn't recommend anything that I won't use myself, and I do use these every single session myself. But anyway, there you go. I think that's all I really need to say about these. They are padded shorts, not much more to say. And me personally, I just wear some Dickies kind of workwear shorts over the top, and nobody can ever see that I'm wearing them. They do feel a bit odd to start with, your first few sessions with them, and a bit bulky to start with, but after wearing them a few times, you don't even notice you're wearing them, and the benefits far outweigh any negatives that you might kind of think up. As I said, I think it's a bit of an unspoken thing and people don't talk about them, but for me, the benefits are huge. I won't skate without them. So I hope you found the video useful. There's a link below if you want to get some of these for yourself. There are other brands that make them. I know 888 makes some as well, and I think TSG might do them. Burton makes some snowboarding ones. There's probably more snowboarding ones than there are skateboarding ones. There don't seem to really be many skateboarding brands that do them apart from 888 and the Protek ones. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Maybe you wear some, maybe you've got some similar ones or ones that you swear by. Let's share the knowledge. You know, if you comment what ones you have below, other people will get to see that and they can take a look at those as well. If you've got any questions, by all means let me know in the comment section below. If you found this interesting or useful, please hit the like button. It really helps me and the channel. And if you want to see more of this kind of content, consider subscribing. But until next time, thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon. Cheers.